I think this one is interesting. Local pro day, mostly for draft eligible players, players who hadn't been in the league, guys who went to Stanford, Cal, San Jose State, high school around here, those kind of guys. And Kellen Mond. The 49ers put out an invitation to Kellen Mond, who was a third-round pick in 2021. He was on the Vikings for a year. He's been on a few practice squads. He was on the Colts practice squad last year. It was a full-on tryout for the guy. And I watched it, and I mean, I'm not going to act like I can 100% assess a quarterback based on how he warms up. He did have a few errant throws, doesn't every quarterback. He said he's changing his mechanics and he's working with receivers he's never worked with before. Fine. It looked like he was aiming the ball a little bit, but still, I like the idea of Kellen Mond on this team. I think he showed enough in college. Forget what he showed. What do you know about him? He's been in the league. He's been in practice squads. I think he's going to be further along than any quarterback you draft in round 6 or round 7. And if you sign him now and he gets to learn the playbook and be here for OTAs and minicamp, I think it's highly likely that he ends up being better than Brandon Allen, and he could be a third-string quarterback for your team. And he has a sort of similar skill set as Josh Dobbs. I kind of like it. I thought it was really interesting on the Niners' part. I think it's cool that they're considering it, and I think they should go for it.
I feel like Kellen Mond starting a game this season, it's like the revenge arc that needs to happen for Grant Cohn. Not even because Purdy got injured, but just because maybe last year they clinched the final week of the regular season and they're just going to play their backups. And it's we could play Dobbs, or you know what? Dobbs isn't going to be here next year. Kellen Mond might. Let's just play Kellen and see what he's got. That's exactly what we need. I would love it. But Kellen Mond, man, I agree. That's exactly what I was going to say. Could you see Kellen Mond having a career much like Dobbs? I certainly could. Yes. How long did it take for Dobbs to catch on? How many years was he in and out of this league?
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. So,
and what's cool about Mond is he's 24. I mean, he's younger than, or as young as a lot of quarterbacks that are in the draft this year. And the experience he has is in the NFL on multiple practice squads. He's been on a team that runs a very similar system as the Niners. It's intriguing.
It is intriguing. It is intriguing. And the way that I look at it is last year, I think Allen was important on this team. I do, because Brock Purdy was in his first full year starting. A lot of young quarterbacks talk about how that second and really even the third quarterback helped them a ton as far as game planning and studying and all of those things. Well, Purdy's now a bit of a veteran. He knows what to expect in this league. He's going to have a full offseason for the first time in his career. I think he's got a good grasp of what's going on. So why not just go with the guy that actually could possibly do something at some point in this league? And even if Kellen Mond, let's say Kellen Mond turns some heads during the preseason and you keep him on the team, and then next year he's your backup. You can promote him and keep him for cheap. That would be worth it. Allen should never be your backup quarterback and doesn't have the upside to ever truly be your backup quarterback. Let him at least compete with Allen. I don't see any harm in that. I'm intrigued. I'm certainly intrigued. Yeah. Yes.
And the thing with Allen is he's someone you want in your quarterback room. He's good in practice. He's good in meetings, but you don't want him in a game. And he's in his 30s and there's no potential there. He just seems like a coach at this point, a coach with a jersey. And I think you could do better than that. Bringing it, we've been talking about the Niners need to draft a quarterback. Well, if they draft a quarterback, it's not going to be in round 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. It's going to be late. And maybe they'll get the next Brock Purdy, or maybe they'll get a guy who's behind Kellen Mond in terms of development and less talented. Like, we're talking about a guy who doesn't even count toward the 53-man roster. Does the third string quarterback count toward the 53-man roster?
No, I mean, they're practice squatted. And you get the emergency guy. You get the emergency guy. So
I mean, he's he's not even there. Why not? I would think so. And you could also draft you could sign an undrafted free agent if you wanted to, but I just don't see how. It seems like a better option. I like it.
Yeah, I would say so. And he's closer to the skill set of even your starting quarterback than Allen is. What does Allen bring that Brock Purdy does? I mean, anything close to it? No. I think Mond can bring a little, at least the mobility. I don't know. To me, it's worth it. Kick the tires on him. And worst case scenario, even if you draft a quarterback in round 6, Kellen Mond's going to be like the same price. Not like you're going to pay him big time money. Bring him in as a camp body. Let's see what happens. And if he beats out Allen, he beats out Allen. Great. If not, if he's just garbage, then move on from it. But why not? Yeah, he's going to be as young as most of these guys coming out, anyways.
I mean, you signed Josh Dobbs for a 1-year deal, right? He's going to be a free agent next year. You got to start developing the next guy.
Yeah.
And they played together on the Browns. Could work.
I think so.
Could work.
I think so.
Kind of like it. Julio,
did you see T.O. and his son there today? What'd you think?
Saw T.O.'s son. T.O.'s son talked. He was extremely nice. Just the nicest kid. I don't want to call a grown man a kid, but he's not even the NFL yet. Just the nicest guy. And what was kind of cool was Terrell Owens was there too, watching his son. I thought that was kind of touching. He also looked like he was in phenomenal shape and would probably be the best player on the field if they would have let him participate.
I probably
he was also wearing a full sweatsuit, and it was at least 80 degrees.
Yeah.
But a lot of football players do that, especially guys from the South. Like they'll come to California and it'll be like a dry 80 degrees, and they'll be like, "This is cold. I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. I'm from Florida. I'm from Tennessee. This is not heat.
Not what I'm used to.
This is not heat." Julio, thank you for being a member for 28 months. Jay says, "Do you think the defense will return to form before Wilkes?"
Well, Wilkes doesn't have a job, so
no. Like, will it bounce back to the level it was in 2022?
Oh, before Wilkes. Oh, I thought you were saying like who's bounce back, Wilkes or the defense. I'm like, well, Wilkes isn't even in the league, so I'll go with the defense. I don't know. Yeah. No, I don't. No, there's too much turnover. Too much. The coaching changes. I don't even know who the coordinator is. You're bringing in a bunch of new pieces. Greenlaw might not start the year. Hufanga might not start the year. No, I don't. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't either. Matt McEwen. Also, the defense wasn't great in Salah's first year or D'Amico's first year. They all hit their stride later on.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is why maybe the Niners should have gave Steve Wilkes some grace. But Matt McEwen, if we sign Mond, Grant is going to have a party. Already had a party.
Yeah. Just the fact that he was there is enough. He's like, well, he's pretty much already a 49er. I called it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Julio, what's up, Grant and Jesse? Hope all's well.
What's up, Julio?
What's up, Julio? I guess we got a little bit of a shorter show. Nothing's really going on these days. The Niners have a draft in 2 weeks from tomorrow. So things are ramping up. We're going to have Roger Rosengarten to talk about soon. You know why I think Roger Rosengarten is a late riser? That's a weird name. Kind of sounds Jewish. Rosengarten? I'm just saying. People are like, I can't get drafted Jewish right tackle. But then he ran a 4.92, and it's like, okay, fine. Rosengarten? I bet he's not Jewish, though. But I'm just saying, he might be. You never know.
Wasn't that the last name of remember the movie Rookie of the Year? Like broke his arm?
Yeah, wasn't it his last name?
It was Rosengarten, right? I don't know why I remember that, but I'm pretty sure it was Rosengarten.
I think you're right.
Like Henry Rosengarten, I think.
I think you're absolutely 100% right. QC, if your pop was a film critic instead, where you at?
Ooh.
That's a good question. I'm really happy he wasn't a film critic. He almost was.
Are you criticizing film?
I might have been.
There you go. You at the Sundance every year? Like it's the combine, just getting jacked?
I'm waiting for the U.S. release of Robot Dreams. Have you heard of this movie? It looks dope.
No, I haven't.
It's an animated movie set in the 80s of New York, and it's about a dog who builds a robot, and they become best friends. Best friends. It's a buddy flick, and it probably has a sad end. It kind of reminds me a little of Toy Story 3, which is one of the greatest movies of all time. And sometimes I just watch it when I want to bawl my eyes out. Toy Story 3.
I'm gonna say that dog probably doesn't make it. I don't want to watch it. I'm already sad.
The dog or the robot?
I don't know. Either way,
we're gonna become emotionally attached to the robot. I think we are.
Yeah, probably. It's a good call.
Yeah.